The nostalgia, the magic, the memories, the madness, the transportation in Walt Disney World under scrutiny.
Find out how on Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz.
Now is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Old.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading
Everybody
area.
calm down. Secret stair. AK haters.
But what if it
Behold
could?
the majesty of the Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
Ha! What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here at DillosDizResort.com on a Tuesday night. It's still the month of March for a few hours more. But if you're listening or watching on YouTube for this Theme Park Thursday, it is April 2nd. It is the month of April, the fourth month of 2026.
What is time? I hope everyone made it through April Fool's Day.
And I have to say, this is the first time in the 8-year history of the podcast that I will utter these words.
Oh.
I am so happy to not be at a Walt Disney theme park or any kind of theme park right now.
Are you angry?
I just want to say, first, with a precursor, my algorithms are nothing but people standing in line at these New York City airports. If you don't know, we're New Yorkers here on the podcast. There's nothing but videos of people standing in line and how long they're standing in line at LaGuardia or JFK or wherever. Where does it start? You know, where it started, where it ended. You arrive 4 hours early. Are you going to make your flight? Maybe.
Yeah.
But nothing but these videos. They keep showing up in my timeline, and I'm glad that I did not have to travel within these last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I like the bookends of the . Our friend, and we've been mentioning her a lot on this podcast, and I said there may need to be a drinking game that comes from it. Our friend, Dr. J, Pixie Dust PhD, was just in Disney, and we may need to chat with her about how her travel experience was, especially coming home, because I, through the grapevine, may have heard maybe she was trying to pull like a great movie ride, cutting it close type deal. So we may have to discuss with her how it went.
Interesting. And to say for the second consecutive week, we're going to offer a clarification here on the podcast because Pixie Dust PhD herself reached out to us listening to the podcast on her travels last week and said, I'm not going to say what she really said. I'm going to hear what I actually hear Dr. J telling me instead of what I'm reading on the phone, which is, hey, you idiots, it's MDX, not MDE for my Disney experience. Right. That's what I hear in my head. That is not what she texted.
Dr. J would never say such things about us.
I'm not that I could hear her voice clearly saying those things to me.
Right. She also said she doesn't yell at us, not that we haven't watched Ratatouille. About how we pronounce Ratatouille.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think both. I think it's both how we sit with it and how we say it.
True. That's true.
But yeah, those are, and she doesn't yell at us, even though I just said, hey, you idiots.
Yeah. You know what? All of this is really just saying we've been talking about her so much because we miss her. And so we need to get her on. We need to just see her. We need to just chat with her.
And start schmoozing her for the meetup because she missed out on the last meetup in 2025. So we need to start schmoozing her for the meetup for 2026, which is now almost completely locked in without any kind of reservations or flights for that same time period as last year, early November, the first Saturday of November, in and around that time. It's like orbits. It's orbiting around that November 7th time frame.
It's funny you think that you're going to try to schmooze her when she's going to be like, I told you guys to come down in July, did I not? People are coming. And you think you could just walk in and be like, anyway, how about November? Like, she's not going to have July to be able to come back at us?
She says she's got an annual pass.
Should we just send her an invite right now and just get her? What are you doing right now? Just come on.
Just text her right now, live as we're recording, and say, look, we're fully aware of that. It's a big deal in July that's happening.
Yeah.
We're not going, but
never say never.
Well, it's true. Never say never. There are things I consider, but first week of November? Question mark. First weekend of November? Question mark.
Talking about you.
Yes.
Not discussing July right now.
Yes. Leave July. We're leaving July out of this.
Wanna come to our meetup in early November?
P.S. I'm sending this message to you while we're recording the podcast, so your answer will be part of the podcast.
The answer will be part of the podcast. Okay.
I mean,
right.
Did you do the group text that I also can see her response?
I don't think I did.
Or is it just what?
I think it's just a one-on-one.
Just a one-on-one. That's fine.
It was quicker.
Lewis here fully funding yelling at podcasts. Just so.
That's true. Yes, it is a good pastime, and
it's how Lewis got to know us, by yelling at us.
Right. And Lewis also backing up Dr. J. She will also note the 11-month DVC window. So true. So true. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think Dr. J will be in Disney in July. So I think she would just yell at us about that. Just send her Riverside invite. Yeah, exactly.
On the spot, Riverside invite.
You want to just come on and yell at us? That's what the episode turns into.
So that is two news items right here. Is the lines here at the airport.
Dr. J is a news item.
Dr. J is a news item number 2.
Yeah.
That's an official update on our meetup by way of Dr. J.
That's right.
And then other news here in New York City that I want to mention, because I'm annoyed at algorithms these last couple of days. Yesterday, at the Times Square Disney store, it's a big Disney store in the middle of Times Square. For those of you who might not know, people who go, I missed a Disney store. Well, come on out. Spring break here in New York City. Don't go to the airport. Drive in and marvel in the Disney store. See what I did there with Marvel? Marvel in the Disney store in Times Square. On Monday morning, they had a pin event. There's a whole race car situation happening behind Jen.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pin event at the Disney store, Times Square, which I found out on Tuesday evening. It happened on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I found out on Tuesday evening. Why are those things not in my algorithm?
You didn't know about the Cool Kids Summer thing either. I texted you.
No, yeah. What? How come? What is going on with my algorithms? Again, it's most of the time my algorithm is, as I told Jeffers, get up from your desk at work and walk around.
Right.
It is, but they know who I am. Give me the Disney updates.
They know who I am. That's because you don't go under the Dillos account anymore.
I do. I usually go in through Instas. Instagram is generally my Facebook window. So if I'm posting on Facebook, it's because I'm posting on Instagram.
I see.
Does that make sense?
So you're watching. Are you talking about Reels then, and not TikTok?
I don't know. I'm just saying, why isn't there a sponsored ad that tells me there's a pin event at the Times Square store?
Just why isn't someone telling me on social media that this is where I need to be?
and to say, it started at 7 a.m. and it was over by 10 a.m. Would I have made it? No. Was I going? No. But I want to know about it. I want to be able to, maybe promote the podcast over in Times Square. People walking in and out of there. Hey, theme park Thursday. Happy birthday to Ian Ziering, by the way.
Yeah. Ian.
What? How come I always invert it?
I don't know.
His birthday was on the 30th, though, and he's 62 years old. It's fine. Steve Sanders is 62. It's fine.
It's fine. It's Fine.
Also, because you posted inadvertently earlier this month, it's the 31st of March as we're recording
Right.
this. It's Mr. Feeney's birthday today
Happy
as well.
birthday, Mr. Feeney.
99.
Whew. Glad we have that picture with him.
Yes.
That was a big moment.
We
And
have pictures with both of them.
both of who?
We have Steve Sanders and Feeney.
Oh, yes, Steve Sanders. Yes. Did you stand next to Steve?
I did. My
You did,
arm
yeah,
is
right.
around him. I just looked at that picture the other day. I was like, what chutzpah I had to, I mean, and I blame Priestley for that because, again, if you haven't heard the story, we did the group picture with the cast of Beverly Hills 90210. What's this
90s
episode
Con.
about today? I think we talked about transportation in the teaser.
Yeah.
But 3 years ago, by the way, we took a group photo with cast members from Beverly Hills 90210 because how could we not? And it was Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling and Ian Ziering and Priestley. And we walk in, teen angel Brandon Walsh himself, Jason Priestley, immediately with like the handshake and like as if he was our best friend. And he is.
Yes.
100%. And so like it was such a welcome. Then the picture just felt like we were all good friends. And my arm is around Ian Ziering, whose name I have now said correctly 2 out of 3 times.
Let me tell you something about Jason Priestley in that moment. I mean, we could not have had a better 2-second introduction than we got, where it was he Brandon Walshed us, and he was full. He shook our hands as soon as we walked in, like he was the mayor of that room, which is so Brandon, and it was fantastic. Loved my shirt because I had the 90210 shirt on.
That's right.
Lot of comments about that because then when I went over to why am I blanking on his name now? The picture I had, the only line I waited on that at that 90s con. Nope, he was right out of my mind. Anyway, we had a whole discussion about 90210 over there. So anyway, Brandon Walsh, I would like to clarify. There are some people in the chat feeling a little bit insulted about us talking about Ian being 62. Let me just say, it has nothing to do with his age specifically.
No.
It's just weird because it's Steve Sanders, and Steve Sanders is in high school, even though he was probably like 30 when he was in high school, but he was still in high school. But it also, and again, no one's old except Frank.
That's correct. He is perpetually Steve Sanders because I will still put on. I mean, I had, one of my best friends, former roommate in Orlando. He texted me about a 90210 episode just last week. We still talk about it as if it's actually still happened, as if the show is still on the air at this point.
Amazing.
Yeah, just watched the rerun. He was saying, man, you know this. I was like, it's classic. Because all I have to say to you, Jen, is his real name is Kenny Edmonds. The Babyface episode.
Right. Of course. Babyface. Yeah, that's huge. That was a big one. It's a big turning point.
Yeah.
Drew Fuller is who I had a photo with.
Yes.
I love him from Army Wives, but he was also on Charmed. And
I almost said Gilmore Girls. I was like, it is not Gilmore Girls.
No, that's the aughts. Whenever we go to the aughts con, that I'm sure will happen.
What a terrible name! It'll be called the mid 2000s.
No, that's true. Yeah, and we had a whole discussion, and we talked about Dylan and his wife and like the whole thing. Actual characters, not in real life, but yeah. So it was a big hit, that T-shirt from Target. Thanks, Target.
I couldn't remember if it was a T-shirt, if it was a new T-shirt, or if it was like you still had it after 25 years.
No, it was new.
That was a very sharp 90s con turn we took there.
Yeah. Well,
but to say, with Priestley, again, Priestley is high elevated there, but, that takes us, we'll make the connection and talk about that, Teen Angel. That's how we got to know Jason Priestley, was this serial on the all new Mickey Mouse Club on like Mondays and Wednesdays, or I think it was Mondays and Wednesdays. So twice a week they would have Teen Angel, and then they had Teen Angel Returns.
Right.
And he was like a James Dean type, and he was coming back to help the local sad teenage kid or whatever. And And that's how we got to know Priestley. And again, personally, no, just, we're like, hey, this guy's pretty good. So all this to say, we can't wait for this MMC book
Yeah.
that is about to come out. We're getting our copies soon,
Yep.
and we're looking forward to that as official ambassadors
That's right.
of Always in the Club.
Because we're always in the club.
Always. So now that we took this tangent that I had no idea we would take, I'm trying
Thanks,
to
Mr.
think
Fiend.
about what what else we were going to talk about here today. But I know that you had really it was about transportation, and I want to talk about some boats. I was thinking about some boats
Sure.
in Disney the other day, but I know you had a little news item that is a timely Easter related news item related to Walt Disney World that you wanted to discuss.
Yeah, well, and I was getting a little bit confused because, of course, how I find out about some news things that are happening in Disney is the hullabaloo that
Mm.
can sometimes be caused. And so I was like trying to understand. So, from my understanding, the buses at Disney Springs. You can't go over to Disney Springs, locals mostly probably, park your car, hop on a bus, and take it over to a resort. You need a hotel reservation, you need a dining reservation, you need all the things. They're going to be checking the MDXs and on your phone and all the things. So they had a new setup. But of course, I see all the things. And so you partly see some people blaming the content creators.
Uh-huh.
They are to blame for all of this because they have caused these issues.
Uh-huh.
I know that uh, these kind of rules go back a long time because I can remember flying down, even like when I worked for the airline or even before that. But if we would go down during this time of year or any kind of busy time of year, right now it's spring break, and we would try to park at like Beach Club or Boardwalk, they'd be like, yeah, no, you got to go park like across the street and you got to,
Mhm.
figure it out. And I used to be like, but I just want to go to Jelly Rolls. And it used to be, you had to like take these different ways. So I do know they try the crowd control stuff pretty often and try to work it out that way. I wasn't sure if that was across everything. Like, were they really locking it down across the board, or was it just these buses from Disney Springs? Um, but I don't know. I also see people going, it's not going to just be for spring break. They're just testing it out to see if they continue this down the road. And this is so unfair. What if I want to go get a drink at a resort and all of the things? Um, I don't know. I see all the things at play. I see the fact that the idea of taking your laptop and working from Walt Disney World is now a thing to do as a content creator and just set up today I'm working from the coffee shop and da 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 da, and they're with their laptops out,
Mhm.
and I see the actual content creators creating, Disney, the vloggers and the TikTokers and all of it. I understand it. I think it kind of stinks for the locals that aren't those people and just
Mhm.
enjoy going to the parks and maybe just use that. But also for a local, you probably have a car. So if you have a dining reservation somewhere, can't you just take your car to the resort and do that? I don't know. So again, I'm iffy on like how far they're going with it all, or if it's just the Disney Springs buses. But yeah,
I mean, everyone's gonna try to find the loophole,
yeah.
always, right? I think that's part of it. I think my biggest beef with whenever it comes up, whenever it's a story, whenever it's back in play, usually, Christmas and then spring break time and, maybe Thanksgiving week
Mhm.
sometimes. But I think my biggest beef with it is that it's never consistent.
Yeah.
It's never communicated properly across the board that everyone has the same set of rules that they're playing by, so the inconsistencies that have continued over the years is
Mhm.
really where I'm like, why can't they just come to a solution? And I have a solution because I'm in operations, so I have a solution in my brain.
Oh,
I'm not sharing it here. Well,
oh,
I can take it to the Discord and talk about it
mhm.
because we have a $1 Discord
Okay.
associated with DillosDizResort.com. But the big thing to me, like I don't want to suggest it because I do think it's a solution. Um, but they just haven't been able to track these things in a way to justify enforcing it further. Enforcing
Oof,
it.
oof,
I know I
oof,
hit
oof,
it bad.
oof.
I said it twice because I knew
Wow.
I'd said it the first time.
Yeah.
Enforcing it.
This is what happens when we start at 9.
Phew. Enforcing it 2 times. Enforcing it.
Enforcing
Anyway,
it.
so that's where I really am with it, is that they haven't been able to provide the evidence, the proof to create a consistent way of doing this.
Yeah.
And that is that's what annoys me about it when it happens and when it comes up. And I get it. Like, you want to shut it down Christmas week or this week, I get it, but then stay consistent with it. Um, but just let it go. Don't bother us. The rest. Don't send Skipper Bob in September over to the transportation center because he
Uh-huh.
has an Ohana reservation. Like,
Right.
what? That's a leap
Right.
that's not necessary. Like,
Yeah.
he's just going to Ohana. Like, just let him in.
Yeah. I mean, and they did that to me last March for my 24-hour Jelly Roll trip that I couldn't go and park in Polynesian. I
Mm.
had to go to Transportation and Ticket Center to get a Dole Whip. That was mid-March.
I forgot about it because when you said that you got a Dole Whip when I came up when we were talking about it a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, I was like, I don't remember you getting a Dole Whip, but
Yeah.
I also forgot that part that you had to go over to the transportation center.
I did
That's
too until
annoying.
just now.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was annoying. And listen, I am someone that's like, what? I have to do something else? Forget it, I'm out. And I was like, no, you have nothing else going on. Just go get a Dole Whip and go park at the and I did, and I was able to park so close, like where they were parking was right across from the Polynesian, so I just
Yeah.
had to like walk across that bridge or whatever. But I was like, this is ridiculous. What am
I'm
I
so
doing?
angry
So
for
angry.
every time we ourselves have tried to beat the system. The one time you're sending me over to the
I only have
transportation.
24 hours. I don't have time for this.
You just wait till
Um,
I go to the Steakhouse 71 5 months from now. You'll
right.
see.
I think what's hard though is that you have offerings at the resorts where you can't have reservations. Jelly Rolls was a big one for that.
Yeah.
You can't make a reservation at Jelly Rolls. So during Christmas week, during spring break, during all these times, if they want you to park across the street and there's no parking there even, they're like, oh well. And it's like, no, not all will. But I want to go give you guys money over here. Let me give you money. Or a Dole Whip or Trader Sam's or all these places that you can, or the beignets over at French Quarter. You can go to these locations, but I can't make a reservation, but I can spend money there.
Mhm.
I don't think people probably care about French Quarter as much, but in terms of, let me correct that, in terms of the parking, like last time we went in January, we went over there and it's like so easy to like, we're getting beignets. They're like, yep, go ahead, go park over there. And the parking lot is, mostly empty
Yeah.
because it's not at a convenient location to secretly park your car to hop around somewhere. So I get
Right.
it. But like that boat from Disney Springs is probably packed more so than normal to get over to get beignets during spring break now because
Right.
it's
And
crazy.
I mean, and I guess that's my other beef about Disney Springs in general, and the
Mhm.
checking there. Are they so worried about the resorts being overrun? Are they so
Right.
worried about the complaints about the people who are staying there? Who's
Mhm.
keeping track of who? I mean, now granted, I also live a lot in customer feedback, so I know. So,
Yeah.
and this person is that, and that person over there, and I get it.
Yeah.
But so you're always going to get that one person. But are you worried about the Polynesian being overrun by people when you have Trader Sam's without a reservation system and
Yeah.
people just want to go
Yeah.
or get beignets at a quick service. Like if you're not gonna, you can't sit there and go resort guests only
Yeah.
Port Orleans. You don't want that.
Right.
So the idea, it's a losing battle is really what I think. I think it's a
Mhm.
battle you cannot win, and I think they have proven that for 30 years that they
Yeah.
cannot win this battle. So until they hit a point that they got to make a harder decision,
Yeah.
I don't know what fight they're fighting.
Yeah. And this may speak and kind of tie into some of your boating that you were going to bring up, but Val is saying I wasn't allowed to in Wilderness to pick up our daughter after our breakfast reservation. She stayed to hang out, and Val left to pick up Lewis and try to come back to get her, and they wouldn't let her in. Maz, hey Maz, is in the
Mhm.
chat saying they almost didn't let her into Wilderness Lodge a few years ago, being in an Uber. So, and then you have that too. But
Yeah.
then it's like, so is Wilderness Lodge strict as well because it's so close to the kingdom and you can
Mhm.
boat right on over.
Mhm.
So it's interesting which hotels become stricter around these times and which don't.
But I also will equate those things to, yeah, not gonna get every perfect security
Hmm.
guard wearing a Disney name tag
Oh
who,
yeah.
like, understand like, you gotta know when someone like, if you see me and Papa Dillo
Yeah.
come it's the middle of March, which is the same timing as when you got
Yes.
a Dole Whip.
Hmm. Uh-huh.
Now, Papa Dillo and I, in 2023, we went to Steakhouse 71 for breakfast. And you said, "You wanna get a Dole Whip?" And so then we go I'm like, "I don't think we're getting into the Poly for
Yeah.
the Dole Whip." Like, I was like, "We have the reservation for
Hmm.
just hold the gun in the booth." And the fact that they waved me in, like, to me, that's a situation there they'd be like, "Shut it down. You're not
Yeah.
getting in. We don't trust
Yeah.
that you're not going to the Magic Kingdom."
Hmm.
Like, but so why the inconsistency of that and I just know that everyone is not getting the same information and you gotta have the play make the best judgment thing in your brain. So,
Hmm.
of course, everyone's level of best judgment is different.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so when it comes up in the news cycles, I'm glad you kind of, I was like, oh, this.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It is such a, you're just in a circular pattern
Right.
of this.
Yeah, Matt saying, they had to show them my reservation, but that they think I was somehow going to take advantage with my Uber. Yeah, you could have been dropped off and then taken the boat over and then yeah, I don't know. I Again, it is very inconsistent, and I'm in my head, like, because, as of lately, I basically live at All Star Sports,
Mhm.
so I'm even thinking of the All-Star resorts, like, "Oh, are more people gonna try to sneak in over there and then hop on the bus?" But you can't. I mean, getting in there is a fortress, I feel like.
Oh,
They really do check everything, and we can't even get in half the time.
which is hilarious. I feel
Yes,
like the most consistent place that
yes,
has the best system is at the All-Star. So how is that? And it's been like that, guess what? Since 1995.
right.
So how
Mhm.
is that a consistent, successful
Yeah.
system of monitoring? Okay, nobody wants to go over to the All-Stars. But guess what? There's someone living off of 192 that's hoping to get through that
Oh,
little
yeah.
that booth over at the
Yep.
All-Stars.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But just don't drive what did we drive that time? A Chevy, and then it, like, just shuts down when you're trying to scan your band.
It's
Don't
like,
do
"What's
that.
happening? What's
Thank
happening
goodness
right now?"
for the guy in that booth because he's the one who was like, "Are you driving a Chevy?" "Yeah, this happens." Like, "What?" I had no idea. Anyway, um, yeah, it's all a very interesting thing, and I do wonder, and I'm sure we will see over the next between now and Easter how big the lines are, how many locals are feeling inconvenienced if they are, and what more people are thinking about it. I feel like I want to see if there's a significant change on Disney's side. They have to be doing this as a test run, and they have to hopefully be really paying attention to these numbers, you would hope, and see what this is actually doing in terms of traffic control, and if something like this does make a big dent or not.
And 100% that I will have revisionist history about all this. Do you think this is increased again because there's no more Magical Express, that they're worried about the amount of parking spots? Do you think it's because to me, I would feel like Ubers have leveled out the amount of rental cars coming through,
Right.
right? I feel like that's why they also got rid of that JPEG the parking fee that was going into the resorts too.
Yeah.
But I just I don't see how we're I want to know what the actual issues are that
Yeah.
caused by a guest who wasn't staying. Like, and I'm sure it comes up that, oh, well, this guest wasn't staying at the Polynesian and they had too many at Trader Sam's and this was the issue. And I was like, well, then put Trader Sam's in MDX. Credit Dr. J.
Which, by the way, everyone in the chat is saying MDE. So you know what? I think we're right on
No,
this.
but she's cooler than all of us. And so,
Oh,
yeah, I think that's what it is. Has she responded, by the way? No.
no.
No. She
Perhaps
knows she's being recorded.
after
That's
getting
why.
back from a trip, maybe she's tired and sleeping. I don't know. But
It's no excuse.
no. Anyway, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. And who did I see? No, I won't say the person I saw. One of the TikToks I saw, who was heavily blaming the content creators of Orlando and them being the cause of all this. And then you hope Disney doesn't do what sometimes Disney can do. I'm looking at you, DOSPass, which is go in an extreme of another way when they're like, you want us to be consistent? Here's our consistency. And it's like, oh, I think you went a little too far the other way. I think you
Right.
need to come back a little bit. You hope they don't do that after this.
Right. And that's why I don't want to give my recommendation. Like, it's not, because I could see it easily happening. And, and because a lot of it is on the path, on your MDX.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to say that today. That I feel like there's an easy solution if they
Right.
really wanted to that would cost you money.
Right.
So
Yes.
maybe not that.
Right.
So now, since we're talking about how to get around to the resorts and how to get around to the parks because of that, I want to mention that, I've been thinking about boat rides at Disney lately and dreaming about Disney boat rides.
Sure.
So, not that I'm going to force you to rank them, Jen,
Oh, thank God.
but I will later. I want you to, let's talk about the boat transportation you can take at the Walt Disney World Resort. I want to start with this question to you.
Okay.
When was the last time you took the ferry from the Transportation and Ticket Center to the Magic Kingdom or in the opposite direction?
Have we taken it together?
That's a great question that I don't have the answer to. I feel like I'm trying to think of when I can picture myself on it. I have no idea what year it is.
Did you do the 2021 solo trip? Is that when you went?
Yeah, I didn't go on it then either. No, it's been some time.
Yeah, I was wondering if we had done it in 2018 on the 2018 trip maybe, but if not, then I would say probably the 11-year-old was on it when he was 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
So I know at least 11-ish years ago. Well, almost 12. So about that time, but I don't know if I've been on since then.
Yeah, I think it's been longer for me. And I almost don't know. It is definitely one of those things. There's two things I've been thinking about this week that in the scope of this, this era of the podcast that we have not done. And one is we haven't been on the ferry in the podcast era.
Yeah.
And we haven't been over to Wilderness Lodge since that 2018 trip, which was a couple of weeks before we started Theme Park Thursday.
Yeah.
So I haven't been over to Wilderness Lodge, haven't done, Geyser Point, haven't been over to Fort Wilderness, like that whole area. And that is definitely an area that every meetup we have, every solo trip I take, I'm like, I got to run over. I think even last time I said, for the last meetup, I was like, let's run over there in the morning since we haven't been. And it's like, we don't have that many hours in the day, and we're going to a holiday party after. Let's not do everything.
Right.
So that is where that's I feel like I got to put it on the list at some point for the ferry.
Yeah.
But I think the annoying thing is that the transportation and ticket center, it's a little much. We walked through the Polynesian and when it was really cold that day, when you were dying at Jocelyn's meetup.
Sure.
You weren't literally dying. You were just so cold that
A
you
little
thought you were
bit.
dying. And we cut through the Polynesian to go to the transportation center because I guess maybe the monorail wasn't in service, or we didn't want to take the monorail around to the TTC.
Yeah, I don't
forget.
remember.
And I just remember going, I was like, and the ferry launch is right there. In retrospect, I was like, well, since you went back to the Polynesian and I came back from Epcot, I should have just taken the ferry over rather than but it was also freezing that night.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous.
That was probably the opportunity to do it.
I wouldn't even get off the monorail, so that's how cold it was. Yeah, see,
I was
Lewis is saying literally dying. That's right, we were.
I was like, come on, you have to see the beacons of light on Spaceship Earth. You haven't seen it.
No, I don't. I have to stay on the monorail. I can't even move. And I think that's the night. And then there was the fire alarm went off.
At the Great Ceremonial House, yeah.
I was in one of the longhouses, just sitting in the hallway, going, I just have to stay warm, because I was trying to be in the lobby of the Polynesian at first, but it was freezing from the door opening and closing so much that I couldn't stand it in there anymore. So then I moved over to the longhouse and just stayed in the hallway and sat on the floor for a while. And then the fire alarm in the main building, I think, was going off, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it was a long time.
There was no safety concern.
Yeah, that was a long time, that alarm. I felt like it was a long time you were out.
Yeah.
I was breezily walking around the Magic Kingdom with nobody around.
Getting the content. For the content.
For the content.
Yeah.
For the content. I'm not going to say anything else. Da, 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 da. I feel like everyone, if I post any of that content, it'd be like, look at all the masks. Da, 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 da.
I mean, there's so many videos, like selfie videos of us from the 2021 trip, and we're in masks. I'm like, are people gonna say things if I post this? I don't want
you don't want to post the da, 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 da. All right, so leaving the ferry out of it, would you say that the Friendship Boats, Beach Club, Boardwalk, Swan and Dolphin, Epcot Studios, is that your favorite of the boat transportation in all of Walt Disney World?
Yeah, because aside from that, then what? You have the other little boat around the Polynesian. What's that little one called?
Yeah, the water launches. Yes, the water launches.
The water launcher. So yes, the Friendship Boats would be top tier for me. We were just talking about it this morning, actually, with a drop off, because friends of ours are going to Disney over spring break.
Nice.
And we'll be staying at the boardwalk, and we were just talking about the Friendship Boat horn and how glorious it is in the morning, and just so, that's fine. But yes, that would be a favorite.
Yeah, I think, I'm trying to think also, because as we've talked about a lot on the podcast before, we started at the Polynesian for years, and then we moved to the Beach Club for years, and then the Boardwalk for a little while, even though more for Jen than for me, because I was living in Florida, and then Jen thinks, and then she apparently thinks that she stayed in the green Beach Club portion there.
I did. I was there. I don't know where you were, but I was there. But the weekend before, I was at the beach with Papa Dillo at home, and then you weren't there.
Well, and I think that the Friendship Boat really taught us over there on Crescent Lake, with all the Epcot resorts, is that is that it's okay to slow down and to take in all the things. And
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know, it was cool to dock at the Swan and Dolphin for a couple of minutes, and it was cool to take it over
Mhm.
to the studios and you not feel like you had to rush in. And like it just, I don't know, there's that mentality of taking your time with things. I'm not good on cruise ships, but I don't know. I don't mind the boat rides
Yeah.
over in and around the Disney resorts. You just went on the was that the first time you went on the Disney Springs to Port Orleans?
Yeah. Mhm.
What did you think of that? The Sasagula.
I liked
I'm
it.
not going to
That
say that right
I
ever.
yeah,
Sarsaparilla,
Saska.
Sasagula.
One of those. We are not a Disney News podcast.
That's
Please
right.
do not fact check
Don't judge
us.
us.
Um,
5 stars on
I
Apple Podcasts, though. Thank you.
thank you. Please rate and like and do all the things. I like that in the same way. It was a journey to get over there. I was seeing things I don't normally see. I had some views I don't normally have.
hmm
So that was nice, but it was, a nice like chill boat ride. And to your point about the friendship boats, and how we stayed at the beach club and hung out in the quiet pool and all that, I would always say to people, even when we were growing up and people still felt like, oh, Disney is so much. And I mean,
hmm
compared to now, it was nothing. But we would always say it's a vacation. It can be a vacation if you make it a vacation, where we would go in the parks in the morning, we would come back and hang out at the pool all day. Maybe we'd sleep, maybe whatever, and then go back out at night, have dinner, be in the parks a little longer, all that stuff. And it had a good pace to it. The schedule
hmm
was nice. And the friendship boats help with that, because I know then it had been I don't know how many years between whenever I had been on the friendship boats and what there had been this period of time where I guess I just didn't go on them. And when I went on again, I was like, oh my God, they're so slow. Have they always been this slow? They slow them. This is ridiculous. You can't get anywhere on these. But also, it's a good reminder of, no, just chill out and slow down. It'll be fine. You'll get there when you get there. And it's just a different experience. But all of those, kind of what I was talking about in our letter to Josh tomorrow, all those little simple
hmm
things as a way to just take in the vibes. Friendship Boat allows that very much.
No, there's not. I think somewhere between the 4:55 and 5 p.m. range of a friendship boat arriving to the Beach and Yacht Club, you would make a 5:20 Citizens of Hollywood set at the studios. That's where
Uh-huh.
it was at, right there. And pool time,
Yeah.
get situated. 4:55, be over on the dock to get over to the studios by 5:20. It could be done back then.
Yeah.
Now, going through security.
Right.
I don't know if it could be done now, but back then it
Right.
could be done.
Yeah.
Mads is saying, what, 2017 was when Mads was on the ferry last?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, be our pre-park opening, be our guest breakfast. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, you
Yeah.
overslept. Did everyone do the whole, we slept in?
I don't want to get copyright. Little dinner at Mama Melrose's after that set.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
All the
What a
things at
time in the
studios that
90s.
aren't there. Why? And then so that's been the recent one, because I did it for the first time in 2022, I guess. That I went back and forth. I went from Port Orleans, French Quarter. I keep saying Port Orleans, but I'm not
Mhm.
specifying French Quarter, to Disney Springs, and then Disney Springs and back. Because why? Because I went from I somehow got on a bus. No, I think I took an Uber to French Quarter and was like, I'm just getting some, or
Hey,
did
I'm
I
getting
have a rental
beignets.
car? Which one was it? I think it was a rental car, and I was like, I'm just getting some
Yeah.
beignets. I never had the beignets before.
They're like, okay, go ahead. So is everybody else.
I wouldn't
Come
say
on
if
in.
I don't think I said I'm just getting them to go and then decided to take the whole river cruise. That would be wrong.
Right.
And then we talked with Barry Jacobson a couple weeks back about the water sprites on and that was just a different thing that I don't even understand how that could be done on the Seven Seas Lagoon anymore.
I don't either.
I can't even imagine.
No, I mean, and they don't have them, do they?
I don't think they're over there anymore. I feel like they're still. I think it'll cost a lot of money to divert people away. I got to see if they're over at the beach club still, Beach and Yacht Club. I feel like I walk. We walked over when we stayed at the Dolphin. We walked that way, and I feel like we just did it when we went from Allen Compass to Jelly Rolls last year. We went there. I'm like, did I see the water sprites over there or not? But there's nobody on the water.
You can't step near the water. In recent years, there's no way they're putting people on the water. Like you can't be on any of the beaches without a net in front now. So how would they let people on the water?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening.
You don't think it's happening?
Where people would like putting their hands in the water and stuff. They're not going to let people do that.
I swear I have this conversation once a week, and I mean, Theme Park Rob's not here tonight, but because he's always got like little footage of gators in places,
yeah,
and just like, oh, you lived in Florida for 4 years, you deal a lot with alligators, like on the apartment complex. I was like, no, they were all new apartment complexes. All the wildlife got chased away. Now they're creeping back in. That's why you see it everywhere all the time. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. No. Well, and we talked about that with Mrs. Dillo a little bit because of the idea of most houses in Florida have the screened-in porch for the pool.
Yeah.
And I was like, because you don't want a gator crawling into your pool, so you have to screen in your porch.
Yeah, I don't want gators and I don't want raccoons in the pool.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
A little bit of housekeeping here as we try to start wrapping things up. You know what? Before I do the housekeeping,
okay.
I want to give an honorable mention to the boat launches they have over at Universal Orlando. We stayed at Sapphire Falls in 2024. The first time I ever stayed at a Universal resort instead of, say, the Best Western across on Kirkman Road, which was my usual Universal go-to. Stayed at Sapphire Falls where they had the boat launch. I loved it. I loved the boat launch over there. It was I don't know. I felt like it really brought you into your day at those parks. At the original park in Islands of Adventure to specify there. So I definitely want to give a shout out to that. I enjoyed doing that every morning, coming back in. I think one of the days we came back in the afternoon for the pool and went back out again. So the night the night rides on the boats as well. Also equally effective. Something about the calmness of the boat away from the noise of the park. It's good no matter where you are.
With the Florida sky. I mean, we are a podcast who dedicated to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World. So it is nice to mention a different one every once in a while. There's a conversation in the chat between like Lewis and Maz talking about how they're, night owls. Ryan as well, but then mentioning the midday nap and how nice it is. That's right, Ryan. It's glorious. Maz saying she needs to start doing the midday naps. I don't understand not doing a midday. Listen, Frank's adrenaline in his old age is amazing in Disney. I mean, I have Disney adrenaline, but Frank's Disney adrenaline is next level. You went to a spring training game with Theme Park Rob and just drove around Florida, came back, went to Jelly Rolls all night. I was like, absolutely not. I'm going to need a nap. I flew here. I ate a Dole Whip. I went to Blizzard Beach, and I need a nap. I can't go. I can't do it. A nap is necessary.
Yeah, I'm credit Theme Park Rob for hanging that whole time through that because he drove down to West Palm, and then we drove to Port St. Lucie, and he did all the driving, and then he drove to Disney to drop me off.
Props.
I mean, and then stayed out.
Jeffers, we know you don't sleep at Disney. We know that.
I don't think Jeffers sleeps. That's
I
my
don't think he does. No, especially at Disney, definitely not. I mean, even that day before the party, you went in the pool. Jeffrey's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink by the pool, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go take a nap. So you guys we have to go somewhere tonight. I'm gonna need a nap. Thank you. Even if it's a
I
little.
mean, I listen, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy a Disney nap as well.
Yeah.
I wish I could go every day the way I can go at Disney. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No. Well, and it's because it's the magic. I don't hop out of bed at 6:30 every morning. I'm like, no. And Disney, I'm like, oh, we should get ready and go. Let's
Yeah.
go do it. We have a 7:20 breakfast. Let's go.
All right, you want to get going?
You ready?
So now I'll start to wrap up with a
Oh.
little bit of housekeeping
Sure.
and to say these two things. Last week we were on the Mazza Musings podcast with Chris and our friends Tom and Michelle at Hyperion Adventures podcast. So make sure you check that out. We talked about baseball for an hour. We're a week into the baseball season so far. How is the 11-year-old handling the baseball season so far?
He's getting adjusted. I think he is trying to get to reacclimate to the season, remembering that it's a long road. There are a lot of games to be played. We don't know how this team will do together overall. We're just going to have to watch it. Sometimes your team is up, sometimes it's down. I mean, I have to then, when I see videos, like Diaz coming out to the trumpets for another team, or Pete hitting a home run, or I have to really be like, oh man. So I'm having probably a little issue with it, but he's doing mostly all right with it.
Yeah, when Lindor got thrown out at home on Sunday, how was that? Didn't take. It was like, no. But I think it is a long season. I'm trying to have a different, like, you can't have the high of 2024, and we did not sufficiently Dillo our expectations last season for the Mets, and now I think I'm sufficiently Dilloed right now with. But check out the Mazza Musings podcast in your podcatcher. All of us with Tom and Michelle talking baseball for an hour.
Yeah.
Or so. So that's that. We are in the midst of hashtag Dillo's Madness. Dillo's Madness is in full effect. It is our pop edition this year. That's because here at DillosDizResorts.com, Jen has introduced the Dillo's Pop server this year. So if you join for free at DillosDizResort.com, you get some basic channels over at Dillo's Pop. If you go in for $1 a month, you get access to the Resort One Channel Discord and additional channels over at Dillo's Pop. But we decided to do our Dillo's Madness brackets this year based on celebrities over the years that have some Disney origins to them. When they were in their youth, they have a connection to Disney in some way. We picked 16 celebrities. We're looking for the ultimate Disney celebrity amongst those 16. You got Gosling, you got Britney, you got Kerry Russell, you got Selena Gomez, you got Zendaya, you got a lot of people to choose from in our Sweet 16 Ultimate Disney Celebrity bracket this year. So I think if you go and join for free at DillosDizResort.com, you can get the bracket. You can access the bracket that way. Some people have already submitted their brackets. Love the choices that I've been seeing so far and how some of the matchups have broken out. I think we're going to keep accepting submissions at least through today's the 2nd on this theme park Thursday. I feel like I said the 11th in the post. I don't know if I was lying or not, but somewhere in the next week, we will keep accepting brackets. We will then begin discussing the first round at the very least. I don't know about the whole first round, but a portion of the first round on next week's podcast. And then We'll see how long it takes us. We get enough submissions there. We're going to do a little prize at the end, a little Walt Disney Collectibles prize at the end of the hashtag Dillos Madness, where we are in search of the ultimate Disney celebrity.
Yeah, you said it all.
Did I say that? Yes.
And also you can choose to play how you think we'll answer or what your own answers are. And if you would like to write that on your submission or something, like I think this is what Frank and Jen would say, or those are just your own, feel free to let us know. If not, that's fine too. Whatever brings you joy.
I mean, no spoilers, but I'm going to say in some of the submissions we have received so far, Kurt Russell is getting a lot of love.
You know what?
A lot of respect for Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm. I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
No shade.
No shade. He wouldn't be in it if there was shade.
Yeah.
But definitely looking forward to talking more Kurt Russell based on some of the submissions we have seen so far. Yeah. Jen, is there anything else that we need to make mention of?
Yes, another housekeeping item. The Fedorable Club was supposed to be last week. My apologies. I got sick. And so I had to reschedule it. We were thinking of doing it this week. It's looking a little messy. So we're going to do it next week on, what did we say, the 9th?
The 9th, I think. The 9th?
I'm looking at the calendar, I think. Yes, the 9th, Thursday the 9th. So we'll be at Theme Park Thursday. And during that, I'll also immediately announce the next movie. So we could just keep this going. We're just going to keep it going. So if you haven't already seen An Affair to Remember and would like to watch it and would like to join us, watch that by next week. And then we can have a little discussion about it.
Yeah, one thing we didn't touch on was the announcement for D23 this year, which is in August. It is always a weekend that I perform at the Sterling Renaissance Festival. So Jen and I will never, ever go to D23, apparently. It is not meant to be. But one of the things they did mention were they announced the Disney Legends this year. And I feel like that is going to be a topic for another time and somehow not included in the ultimate Disney celebrity hashtag Dillos Madness bracket. It's mostly, I'm trying to think, maybe is there anyone that was young? No, I mean, it's all, I mean, I guess you could say the Jonas Brothers. You could make an argument for the Jonas Brothers not being in our bracket.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a fair of the 2026 honorees, the Jonas Brothers not being in the bracket. But The Rock is in there, and Hathaway's in there. My girl, Annie Hathaway, we could have put her in there with the Princess Diaries. I think that's a serious omission right there, especially that she's my girl, Annie Hathaway.
Maybe next year's Dillos Madness will be Disney Legends.
Disney Legends Madness. I mean, that's not fair. The Rock is in there, of course. Yeah. So The Rock is a Disney legend. Listen,
who saw that coming?
If you're a wrestling fan in the year 2000, you're going, you know what? This guy, he's going to be a Disney legend.
Crazy.
I mean, and again, no shade.
No.
Love The Rock.
And rightfully so. He's in everything. I mean,
My favorite story of all time, and I feel like, of all the channels we have in Dillos Pop, I feel like someday we have to put in like our favorite celebrity stories. Siskel and Ebert were on Jay Leno, and I didn't watch Jay Leno a lot back in the day. Siskel and Ebert were on Jay Leno, and Jay Leno asked, "What, who do you think is who are the next big movie stars?" And Roger Ebert, to his credit, said, this guy was just hosted Saturday Night Live. He's a wrestler, The Rock. I don't know. He was really good on Saturday Night Live. I think he's going to be a big deal. And like that stuff, I was like, what? What is he saying right now? He's talking about The Rock? But The Rock on Saturday Night Live was a rocket launch for him. No pun intended. But I vividly remember Roger Ebert saying that on Jay Leno. I refuse to call it The Tonight Show when I just call it Jay Leno. It's Johnny Carson, by God.
You started it angry and you're ending it angry.
I am. I came out of the. I prior to our recording, as the people here at the resort or Ware, who jumped in early.
Yeah.
I sat there and going, there's something I wanted to talk about at the beginning. And as I'm doing the introduction, I'm like, I got it. It's in my head. I'm
Wow.
going to talk about the airports. Hooray. So full circle here on
Here
Theme
we are.
Park Thursday with Dillos Diz. A big crew here in the resort tonight. So much appreciated for your participation. That's a DillosDizResort.com special. You can jump in on our live chat recordings for $1, $5, $10 levels right there. And of course, if you join for free, you get the Dillos Madness bracket. You get the Dillos Pop free channels. So check us out along the way. Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. The Dillos Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snidillo Studios. Dillos Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit DillosDizResort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at DillosDiz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, DillosDiz.com.